Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Saka here with another episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season. We are at the D-shaped oval once again at Michigan Speedway. On the inside there, we have Earnhardt, and we have qualified outside pole here in our 2000 mod, continuing our championship season. As it stands now, both Brandon and I are tied with 6 wins apiece, and only a few races to go before that cutoff race in Richmond. So basically this is all about padding win points if we can get us one. Coming down to the line now, the line is very quick on the outside. We'll try to make the outside work as best we can for us. We may get in trouble if we pass the leader before the start. We have to mind our P's and Q's here. Pit strategy, we're looking at a 1 pit stop race. We have 12 laps in the tank and 10 laps at the halfway mark. So we've got about a 2-lap cushion if we need to go farther. Here we go, green flag is in the air. Earnhardt did not get a good start. Last race at Michigan, there was a big wad up inside turn 1. Let's get it down into 4th gear, run hard and see if the yellow comes out this time around. Looks like everyone is going to get through turn 1 cleanly. Clean air is prime here at Michigan. If you can take away people's lines, you can really drive from center off and carry a whole lot of speed. This is one of the fastest racetracks as far as the speed you can achieve getting down into turn 1. A lot of throttle from center of turn 3 all the way around, drafting up down this long front straightaway, getting to turn 1. 1 lap of the 20 is in the books, and we get our 5 bonus points for leading a lap. Doesn't really matter for us as far as bonus points concerned, except for those wins, but we'll try to stop the other competitors from gaining points on us. The flop at Richmond is going to be 3 points per win, so as of now, both Brandon and I have got 18 bonus points over those in the top 16 that don't have a win, which as of this point, we're only looking at 6 drivers with wins, so we'll have a 18-point advantage over 10 drivers, and 4 will not make the cut, which makes us feel pretty good going into Chicago. All right, let's go nice and hard into turn 1 here. Earnhardt is looking high, trying to get that right side out in clean air, and he's looking low. If he presses, I'm not going to race him too awful hard. The AI's tires will fall off quite a bit in the later part of the run, especially once we start getting to halfway. So it's no big deal if he passes us now. We're sort of big picture racing here. And he will look to the inside. He has a run. Looks like the rest of the cars are on this outside groove, though. We'll have the better arc into turn 1 and the top speed to hold it. Let's go into turn 1. Earnhardt right on the door. He will not be denied. Put Earnhardt to the lead, and it looks like Dale Jarrett, the second half of the Dale and Dale show, will be to our inside. We'll get that draft off of Earnhardt, though, and Brandon is right behind us, settling there in 4th place. Brandon and I haven't been able to really race side by side much this season. Usually he's in front of me or I'm in front of him. We're very rarely nose to tail for any extended period of time. There are just some tracks that he is better than I am, other tracks I'm better than he is. We don't really find ourselves side by side, but Michigan and California are a couple of those racetracks that we are pretty even-steven when it comes to racing. Earnhardt might be pulling out a little bit of a lead on us. We'll stay in his draft here. We've got about 6 laps to go before our scheduled pit stop. Hopefully the AI will be on our cycle as well. Last time, I believe they took 2 tires here at Michigan, and we took 4. That put us back about 10 to 15 seconds, but we were really catching them toward the end. But this race, if they take 4 tires, we will definitely be heads-up racing here. A lot of RPM in this engine. Hopefully that doesn't factor into the wear, and hopefully we can survive the race. With 4x tire wear and fuel wear, I'm not sure if the engine also suffers at 4x wear, especially when we're over 9,000 RPM going into turn 1. Earnhardt is holding a steady wheel indeed. We're keeping him within striking distance and definitely within drafting distance. We can sort of ride here If we were worried about fuel, we would roll off just a little bit here and let Earnhardt break the air in front of us, but we're 2 laps to the good as far as the halfway mark, so we can race him into turn 1 here, and we will grab that position. Outstanding. That will force Earnhardt up and hopefully open a gap for Brandon to join me here up front. We sort of, because of our qualifying, we want to be up front as far as possible, as our pit stalls are going to be near pit exit. So if we drop back to the middle of the pack, we would be coming out right in the middle of everyone in front of us. So we want to get into our pit stall with everyone and leave with everyone and not have too many cars in front of us to worry about. The exit of pit road here at Michigan is pretty treacherous. The apron is very slick down there at the bottom, and if your car washes out to the yellow line down there, it gets very loose very quick. So we'll have to mind that once we come down to it, and we need to start looking for our pit stop. In one more lap, we will be good to go as far as one stop in the race. If the yellow flag were to come out, that would essentially be prime time. Everyone would come down pit road and it would be a restart to the finish. But let's try to keep it clean and green. Yeah, I've got a mirror full of that Texaco Haviland Ford down there. I'll let Brandon go. I know he's going to lead some laps, and we are tied in the points going into this race. The only thing that separates us is top 10s. He has one more top 10 on the year than I do. We're tied in top 5s as well. So when it comes to racing, Brandon and I are equals in every measure, essentially. So Brandon will come around to lead this lap. He will be in a pit stall before us. We'll be a few stalls past him if we can't get by him here in a few laps. We're at 11 laps to go now. We are going to pit at the end of 10 laps to go, and that will split the race directly in half. We'll have at the end of this run what we've got at the end of the race, assuming it stays clean and green. Oh, a good run here by us. We might be able to take a look to the inside here. Now, I'm not going to push the issue too hard. There's still half the race to go, and I don't think Brandon is going to run away from us. Not with this big draft in play. He's starting to scrape the exit of turn 4 there, and I noticed that he scrapes inside turn 1 and 2. If he washes up the track, that may prove advantageous for us. There is 10 laps to go. Looking to pit this time. This time we are coming down. Crew is up on the wall with 4 tires and fuel. Let's not wash out. Whew. Okay, we definitely need to pit this time. The car was not responsive on the exit of turn 2. We washed out fairly well. Let's be ultra conservative here. We're looking for a black spot on the wall to start slowing down. Brandon's slowing down a little bit early there. Let's see if we can pass him to the outside here without speeding. We will be right out to the wall under the commitment cone, 4,000 in second gear. There's pit road speed. Already we can see lap cars below us, and Brandon will be pitting ahead of us, so he needs to be on the left-hand side. We're not going to impede his progress there. Start looking to the left. There's Brandon's stall on the left there. And we will roll through ours and nail it. Solid. They are working on the right side. Earnhardt's right sides are up. Let's go to the left side. Fuel is going in. We are now over the recommended laps here. No fuel recommended. We are going to have 12 in the tank with 9 to go. A 3-lap cushion. Earnhardt will get a clean exit. Brandon gets off pit road first. Whew! That was incredible. Oh, and a little contact between Jarrett and Earnhardt. Let's see if I can capitalize. No, Earnhardt is going to take up most of the line here. That was definitely treacherous. If Jarrett spun out into traffic, that would have brought out a caution. I don't know why Earnhardt didn't get going there, but 4th gear, yank it back. Here we go. Let's settle in, coming around to 8 laps to go here. And let's see what we've got for Jarrett and Brandon. We know we are really, really close in speed when it comes to Brandon. We'll get a really good pull off Dale Jarrett here down to the bottom, and Brandon might not have got off of turn 4 as well either. All right, let's dive in. Let's go for this lead here on fresh tires. It's going to be a little loose here. I want to keep it down to the bottom. Brandon is going to keep it wound up on the outside, a little loose right there. Had to correct. Brandon's going to power off the corner exit. Well, we made a valiant effort on new tires. Let's settle in here and try to keep Jarrett behind us. If we can outrun Jarrett a bit, then we can focus on the race ahead. Oh, the car's stuck on the bottom there. We will complete that pass. Whew, a power move by us. Wasn't expecting that one. Coming around the line to 7 laps to go. This thing is going to be over in a matter of minutes. We have to keep clean here. With Brandon right behind me, I'm not really focused on Jarrett much. I think Brandon can keep Jarrett behind us. Oh, and Brandon moving to the inside. We've got a race. And Brandon thinks better of it, drops back in line. All right, let's hit a good turn 3 here. We'll see if Brandon tries to get to the outside there, maybe get clean air on that right front. He stays in line. He should get a good pull on the draft here coming down the front straightaway. Looking for him to make the move, and we see Jarrett down there trying to make the move. There goes Brandon to the inside. He has the line. We'll let him roll in, and Earnhardt, or is that Jarrett? That's Jarrett there trying to stick a nose in, and I can see Earnhardt back there. If I am racing Jarrett hard, that will pull in Earnhardt, and this will be a 4-car battle for the win here at Michigan. Definitely the best 4 cars are up front today. We don't know if lap traffic is going to be a factor quite yet, but if it is indeed, that may decide the win here. Let's stay in line. We are going to get good draft here. We are still great on fuel, so we don't need to really roll out of the gas. Hitting over 9,000 RPM. Jarrett looking for the dive bomb there. Brandon scraping into turn 1, and there is Earnhardt in the mirror. This is going to be a 4-car battle, it seems. Jarrett will clear us. We may be able to get back to him, and Jarrett has a head of steam. He may be faster than Brandon at this point. We don't know if it's the newer tires or if he's pushing too much. Toward the end of this run, Jarrett may fade back. We'll see if we can get advantage on him. We'll get the pull off Brandon, pin Jarrett to the top of the track, and then follow Brandon through. We should be able to clear him inside turn 1, and Earnhardt seems to be getting that draft off Jarrett as well. Earnhardt is now in this mix. He is right beside our door. He drove it hard into turn 1, pinching me down. I really can't get corner exit. It is now a 4-car under a blanket battle for the lead. Earnhardt with Brandon, me with Jarrett. Brandon goes wide there. I think he might have missed his entry just a bit with Earnhardt pushing. We'll pass both of those and see if we can work on Jarrett. Meanwhile, Brandon is going to have a handful of Dale Earnhardt coming around to 3 laps to go. This may get tense, and our temperature gauge is starting to climb. Drive it in hard. Oh, we get into him just a little bit. We door him. We have to use our power, drive off. Earnhardt will clear us. Brandon will clear us. And there is Jeff Burton into this mix now, winless this year. Over 500 points ahead of the cutoff, but if he were to get a win, that means bonus points for the next round. Sorry, Jeff, I don't want to give you any bonus points. Whew. And we see lap traffic up there in front of us, coming to 2 laps to go now. Brandon is going to look to the inside of Earnhardt, maybe give us a hole to get in. We might have driven turn 1 just a bit shallow there, but we've got a fender on him, and that's all we need. Let's see if Earnhardt can get that good drive off the corner. We'll set our sights on Brandon and get back into turn 3. Those lap cars are looking pretty big in the windshield. All right, let's set him up here. We are right behind Brandon, coming to take the white flag. There we go, 1 lap to go, right in Brandon's tire tracks. We are definitely going to catch these lap cars. We'll get into turn 1. I drove it just a bit too tough, but so did Brandon. He is scraping. Come on, bite car. We're under him. It's going to be a drag race side by side now. Oh, this is going to be tight indeed. All right, let's dive under. Let's see if we can split this lap car. He's going to be a half a lane up. Let's drive to the bottom of the Hillbros car. Side by side now, 3 wide. Brandon with the spin. Brandon is going to spin off of turn 4. We get the win. I don't know what happened to Brandon. Oh, that was rough. I wonder where he finished at. Well, win number 7 goes to us. We are now the regular season leader, and pretty incredible racing. 4 cars, 5 cars eligible to win with 2 or 3 laps to go. We really don't see that in this pack too often, or at least this car set. The competitiveness towards the end of the race. Whoa, Bobby Labonte! Okay, I don't know what we did to Bobby Labonte that race, but he was none too kind about that. Sorry, Joe Gibbs. Tony Stewart involved. Let's just get out of the car here. And Brandon came in 5th, ultimately. Let's take a look at that last lap. So Brandon was leading. I was there in 2nd. Earnhardt right on my bumper, and Jeff Burton pushing Dale Jarrett side by side. There goes Brandon scraping up to turn 2. We'll make our move down to the inside. Side by side, we have equal speed. We're both right there. Earnhardt chooses to go with us to the bottom groove. And here's where that Hillbros car is going to come into play. I get a little bit of a draft of him. We both move 3 wide. Oh, and that was just the smallest touch. That shouldn't have happened, but Brandon sliding backwards and across the line in 5th in front of Ward Burton and Jeff Gordon. But let's take a look at the season standings as they are now. I am the leader with 7, Brandon with 6, Earnhardt Jarrett tied with 3, Gordon and Stewart with 2. Jeff Burton has clocked out for sure. A few point positions jockeying up, but definitely Dale Jr. feeling pretty safe in 16th. Nadu, Elliott, Newman, Benson, they need a win if they want a shot at it. Only a few races to go. Bristol, Darlington, and then Richmond. So we will see you for night racing at Bristol in the next episode, ladies and gentlemen. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next NASCAR Racing 2003 season video. Take care.